What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. This is Leo's Nerd Talk, and today we're going to be going over the top 10 movies of 2025. My name is Leo, and if you guys have time with a movie, TV show, video game later, or just anything nerdy, you are in the right place. And like I said, today we're going to be ranking my top 10 movies of 2025. So without further ado, let's get into the ranking. Now, I recently just released the top 10 worst movies of 2025, but as we reflect back on 2025, not all things were bad. So like I said, we are going to be going over my 10 favorite movies of 2025. But before we get into that ranking, make sure to let me know what your guys' top 10 movies of 2025 was in the comment section down below. Love to see all of you guys' lists because I know everybody perceives movies differently, so our list may not match up. Movies that probably were in my bottom 10 could be in your top 10. Who knows? So I'll definitely let's see all you guys' lists in the comment section down below. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get straight into these ranking. And coming at number 10 is going to be Ballerina, a spin-off to the John Wick series, and I thought this movie was absolutely fantastic. I absolutely love Ana de Armas for multiple reasons, but she was an absolute amazing lead for this movie, and I thought that this movie captured that vibe and the universe of the John Wick universe, where you really do feel like she is part of this world. They expanded upon different lore, showing like different factions or different agreements between different tribes, essentially like the John Wick assassin universe and this other more secluded place, and how all those things kind of intermingle, and how Ana de Armas kind of went back and forth between those two, and how that caused the main central plot of this movie. I thought she did very good in terms of all the action. We've obviously seen her before, like in No Time to Die, so we already know that she was an established good action like star essentially. So I thought she did a very good job in that sense. Visually, this movie was absolutely beautiful. You know, John Wick movies tend to have a lot of good like neon lights visuals. The choreography was amazing in terms of the gunplay, the hand-to-hand combat, the usage of John Wick in this movie I thought was also done very, very well. He wasn't introduced and felt like he overtook the movie. He kind of just enhanced it a little bit more. So I really like him being in the film as well. But overall, I do think this fits and is up to par with all the rest of the John Wick films. And coming in at number 9, we have Chainsaw Man, the Reze arc, the movie. And I think Chainsaw Man is one of the best animes of all time, and this movie was absolutely amazing, action-packed. It felt like it was nonstop from beginning to end. Absolutely great animation style. The artwork of this animation was absolutely amazing, and I love this story as well, where a lot of people have been comparing this whole year, especially if you're into anime, was the Demon Slayer movie or the Chainsaw Man movie the better anime film of the year? And at first I would have said the Demon Slayer movie because I thought that just had so much more going on, but I just really love how the Chainsaw Man movie felt like a standalone film. You didn't need to watch the whole series to watch this movie and to enjoy it and understand what's really going on. So I thought that was very, very interesting. I thought Rize was an absolute amazing villain as like the bomb demon or the bomb monster. And I thought her powers are incredible. Going against the Chainsaw Man was absolutely amazing. Their little like love story that we get at the beginning of the film when they first meet, I thought was actually really nice. You have a really, really good soundtrack here with a lot of great songs going on. So overall, I thought this was a absolutely fantastic anime movie, and it definitely fits into the story of Chainsaw Man while still feeling like a standalone film where you can just enjoy it at any time and don't feel like you have to binge the show before you even watch the movie. And coming to number 8, we have Companion. Now, I thought this was a fantastic movie. I didn't get to watch it when it first released. I actually watched it many, many months later because, again, a lot of things happened at the beginning of the year where I didn't really get a chance to go out to the movie theaters, but I was very excited for this film, and it turned out absolutely amazing. All the twists and turns. I like the use that they did with like all the different memories to kind of trick you and move you through the storyline and show you different perspectives. It was a very, very fun little AI sci-fi like dystopian universe type of movie. Definitely reminded me a lot of like Detroit Become Human. So I thought this was a very, very fantastic movie. I thought performances were great all across the board. And yeah, it was just overall like a very fun, beautifully shot, well directed, great performed film with a nice little twist in, and they give you multiple twists throughout the movie where you finally think that you're resolve the issue. There's a couple of more twists in there that go a little bit further and kind of advance the story even more. And I thought this was actually a very, very nice little sci-fi horror romance little movie here. So that was a very great surprise for me, and I was very, very happy how this movie turned out. And coming in number 7, we have Predator Badlands, a movie that I had really had no expectations for because the first original trailer did not really sell me that much. But watching this movie, it was an absolutely epic ride. Great performances, great action sequences, like the hand-to-hand combat, especially like towards the beginning, and the final battle with the father was absolutely amazing. Amazing creature designs, great worlds that they had visited here, a nice little comedic relief with the synthetic that kind of accompanies the Predator the entire time. And this was a very, very nice, refreshing revisit to the Predator universe, especially that we had a really great Alien movie and now we have a really good Predator movie. If they continue doing this, and if they ever decide to merge them again one day, I think if they leave it the quality like this, we would actually have a great AVP movie, which would be awesome. But overall, I thought this movie was an absolutely action-packed, fantastic film. Something, again, that I didn't really had high expectations for, but I left absolutely loving it. It's definitely one of the better Predator movies, in my opinion. Definitely is the better Predator movie that came out this year. Coming in number 6, we have Marty Supreme. Again, another movie that I really had no expectations for, especially because I didn't really know much about this movie until I started hearing all the great early reviews and finally going out to watch it. This movie was absolutely fantastic. I loved Timothy Chalamet in this film. I thought his performance was absolutely amazing of being this kind of like asshole manipulator, but still being so charming at the same exact time where you're rooting for him and you want him to win. Absolutely great performances, not only from him, but from everybody in this cast. And then you have a topic that, this movie really isn't about ping pong, but the ping pong moments you're so invested in. They shot the ping pong moments to be so intense that you're just infatuated with these ping pong tournaments, even though the movie doesn't really focus on that for a good majority of it. It's really just, Marty Mauser's life and trying to get back to the championship and all the things that kind of ensue with that, all the chaos, all the death, all the manipulation and trying just to get back to Japan to compete in this world champion. But overall, it was just a fantastic movie, start to end. It went by so fast, great pacing for even a movie that was 2.5 hours long. It moved by very, very fast, and I cannot wait to see this movie again. I've been absolutely obsessed with this film. But running off my top 5, we're gonna have Superman. I am so happy that this movie was absolutely amazing, and a lot of people seem to love it as well. Obviously, we do have certain haters for it. You also have the Snyder Bros as well, but this movie was absolutely fantastic to kick off the DCU. I think James Gunn has an absolute great vision here, and all the projects that he's greenlit and all the projects that they're working on. I think this will be a fantastic universe. We've been desperately needing a great DCU. I am a huge DC fan. I love DC over Marvel, and it sucked that over the years we always had terrible DC movies. But now that it seems that we are going into the right direction, I am very happy with this. But speaking on the movie itself, it was just like a symbol of hope. Great performances, so comic accurate, had a really great wit to it. A amazing performance from I can't think of his name right now, but who played Lex Luthor. I don't know why I can't think of his name, but amazing performance from him. Nicholas Hoult. And then you have David Cornsway, who I thought played a fantastic Superman. You can definitely see him embodying that character. A great Lois Lane within Rachel Rosenbaum. This was just a fantastic cast, so comic accurate. I loved everything in him. There were some things that could have been a little too quirky, I guess, but overall, I do think this is like a 4.7, 4.8 out of 5 movie. Absolutely loved it. This movie made me fall in love with Superman. When Superman is a character I didn't really care too much about as a kid, even though I love DC, this made me obsessed with that character and wanted me to read more of his comic books and learn more about the character, watch the animated series. So this is definitely my definitive Superman. And I'm so glad that this movie did so well. But coming to my number 4, we're going to have The Long Walk. Again, another movie that I'm like, okay, what are we going to do here? It's a Stephen King novel adaptation, a movie about walking. How are we going to make this intense? How are we going to make this feel relevant? How are we going to stretch this out into a movie length? And it was one of the most intense, great performed, amazing movies I've ever seen. This movie moved me so crazy, especially when you get that first initial death. It shocks you to your core and you're like, oh, we're in for a ride. We are in for a ride. and you just have amazing performances, so much emotion, the heart within every single one of these boys. It just was a outstanding film, and to be able to bring so much emotion, so much intensity to a movie where you're just watching people walk was absolutely incredible. I can't wait to watch this movie again. I think it is out on streaming now, so I definitely want to watch it again. But this movie was just so immersive. This dystopian universe that we're in was just so incredible, so eerie at the same time, where it almost felt like it wasn't too far from reality at this point. It makes it even more scary to watch a film like this. You have Mark Hamill as like the general, that I thought was great. But yeah, just a fantastic movie that when I finished watching the movie, I was contemplating like, is this the best movie of the year? I'm not sure, but obviously it's at number 4, so I do think it got beat out by a few of them, a few movies that I've seen this year, but overall, incredible. But coming in at number 3, we have F1. Now I am a ginormous F1 fan. I'm wearing an F1 Red Bull hat as we speak right now. And I thought this movie was absolutely fantastic. Same director as Top Gun Maverick, which is one of the best movies of all time. And this was just so immersive. Being able to be in the car, feeling the raw power, great performances between everybody in this film, great choreography when it came to the racing, just so intense, so immersive. You were like in the driver's seat the entire time. A just classic kind of underdog story here that just brought emotion to you and just made you excited. You are jumping out of your seat seeing these races happen. Great directing, great pacing, a great story that is simple but effective, and it's just that feel good type of movie while having epic moments. And as an F1 fan, it just really lightened up my day. This movie is absolutely fantastic. They're saying they're making a sequel. I'm not sure what they're going to do with the sequel, but I am all for it because I love F1, and this movie was just knocked out of the park with everything that it was doing. And coming in at number 2, we have Warfare. This is a movie based off of the memories of the people in this operation. And this was one of the most intense, immersive, devastating, brutal war movies that I have ever seen in my life. It was absolutely amazing. I am a huge fan of war movies. That's probably one of my favorite like subgenres when it comes to like action or whatever subgenre that you would consider war movies. But I absolutely love war movies, and this was one of the best ones I have ever seen. Again, just so immersive. The effects, the practical effects, the gore that you get, the intensity that you feel like you're sitting here with these soldiers just waiting to be ambushed. It was incredible. Um, there's like just in watching this movie in theaters in Dolby, hearing the sound, you felt it like in your chest. It was just absolutely intense, and it felt nonstop. As soon as you get that first, grenade explosion, it's nonstop from there. And before that, you're just sitting there with these soldiers. You feel the stress, you feel like the sweat running down your face. It was just incredible. Like it is one of the best movies I've ever seen, one of the best war movies ever, and that is why it's at my number 2. But coming at my number 1, my favorite movie of the year, and probably most people's favorite movie of the year, and that is going to be Ryan Coogler's Sinners. This movie was more than I can ever expect. You had great performances from Michael B. Jordan, who's playing two different characters, all these other people around that just had such heart to them. There was so much emotion. You felt the weight of these characters. Absolutely amazing performances, great interactions. This movie was shot so beautifully, so immense, so immersed. The music, the music in this movie just elevated so much. It felt absolutely amazing. You felt like you were a part of this film. It made you feel things that you've never felt before. It was just so immersive, so beautifully performed, so beautifully shot, amazing direction, great pacing, an incredible story. And then you get to the vampire stuff, and the vampire stuff was intense, brutal. It was scary, but amazing. It was so like this could be a 5 out of 5 movie for me. I put it at a 4.9 because I get very weary about full on 5 out of 5s, but I gave it a 4.9 out of 5. And I mean, the more I think about it, the more I've seen it. I've already seen it 3 times. The more I see it, it is a 5 out of 5 movie for me. It was absolutely amazing. There's a lot of films in these top 10 that I want to win Best Picture or have some sort of award recognition. But if this movie sweeps, I would not be mad about it because it was absolutely fantastic. There is nothing about this movie that I feel personally I would change. And it is just one of the best vampire movies, one of the best like Western movies, one of the best movies that just go into culture and music. Ryan Coogler absolutely outdid himself with this film, and Sinners for me in 2025 is at my number one. But that is going to be it for this one, guys. Let me know what you guys thought about my list in the comment section down below. Once again, also share your top 10 list of 2025. But again, if you guys like talking about movie, TV show, video game later, or just anything nerdy, you are in the right place. Make sure that like and subscribe button. I'll see you guys on the next video. Thank you.